Welcome to the trailer. So as you guys can see, I got these hex lights. Whenever we're doing a late night shift, we're at a job site, you can't really see in here, and by default this trailer light, they're not that great. So I just thought, like, dude, make everyone's life easier, LED this shit. I was inspired by my barber. I want to get a haircut, and yeah, I just noticed something clicked in my head. I'm like, dude, we're always working late nights. You can't really find stuff what you need, and if you do, you're always just having to struggle, and you're already in the pickle, right? We're like, dude, just make your life easy, right? So you can wear a headlamp. The camera that's being held up right now that I'm currently recording is actually on a light stand. It's portable, so if I'm at a job site, I'll use that light that is being held up on. But for the trailer itself, I just thought it'd be a good idea to just install these, just because it's like, dude, look how bright this is, All right, so let's start with the design, right? So I have these hooks pretty much to hold up my rail, my ladder, and more rail I'm gonna get into later on. But this is not my ladder actually. This is a buddy's of mine, but we had to swap out temporarily, and I'll show you why it's not like meant to be mine, or the way I designed this trailer. Like, I don't need this specific ladder. The one I have is a 28. This is a 32 footer, I think. But yeah. So then I got these hooks right here to hold up my solar racking rail. So whenever we're installing, the racking system, we just take from here. Anything left over that's still a full intact piece will stay in this, let's call it bay. I don't know what it's called. Let's call it bay. Got these custom made bull horns, kind of ghetto, but it honestly gets the job done. And it takes less space than actual bull horns. So the way these work, if no one's familiar, you just pretty much stick them in between the ladder steps and like that. And you do another one on the other end, which goes right here. And pretty much is our homemade, made out of EMT pipe, custom made. I'm thinking about coloring these like some type of color to be custom made. Also, I'll let people know not to trash these away, because I'll be knowing to redo these. They're not perfect, but you got to get the right measurement in order to work. Right here, I designed this rail, this black rail. It's actually self-tapped and roofing sealant, which is like a M1 sealant. That's what they call it, the brand. So pretty much, I designed this weird shape, which looks pretty sick in my opinion, but it also works what it was designed for. So right here, I carry three things. I carry deep strut, shallow strut, threaded, a threaded stick. I forgot the proper name. I think that is proper name, or whatever. But I also carry rail. I already have a rail bay, but sometimes you end up with like 3 footers, 2 footers, 5, whatever the case is, right? So if a rail exceeds my bay, let's call it another bay, bay 3, it will let me know to keep this rail. So in short, in order to make sure we're being efficient, costly as well, we pretty much put this back on top and call it a day. Anything that's shorter in this little bay area that I designed, it will then be trash. So that will pretty much tell the crew, like, hey, that's scrap, let's throw it away, let's clean it up. And not only that, the whole reason why this was made, not only to look good, but whenever you're driving a trailer, you're shaking, you're moving stuff's gonna come down eventually. And to help prevent as much time consumption having to reorganize stuff, this holds up my material. So if it's rapidly moving around, it's not gonna fall off to the floor like I did in the past. So in short, it would just stay in that place. So I don't have to go and step on it and have an argument to clean the floor. Right below this bottom bay for the scrap, pretty much, we have PV cable. This PV cable fits perfectly underneath if it were to be leveled, if something was on the scraps. So you're not having to fight and move the scraps in order to grab this PV cable. It actually fits perfect. You can put a hand underneath, so it makes your life easy. I found a space for it and it's right there. I gotta figure a spot for this, and the reason I'm saying that because I don't like it here. I may just put it in the truck underneath the seats, but pretty much this bad boy right here is the jack. You know, if I need to lift up something quick, that's my boy right there. I call him Dr. Strange. He may be strange sometimes, but hey, that fool's a badass. Oh, I didn't even watch Dr. Strange. I played Marvel Rivals, and that motherfucker dope as fuck. Now let's show you the other side of the trailer. So right here, I'm kind of empty right now. Carry spools of THHN wire for the strings for the system itself. Right now, I'm only rocking one spool or one set of string, so it's on my one spool right here. Typically, if I'm running a four string system, that's over like 40 panels, which is a lot of power, by the way. It's actually designed to carry 5, to be fair, but I carry an extra one just for like random stuff. So I just keep it down to 4, but I have pretty much, I think, what, 7 spools. I have 4 for 4 strings. Typically, we don't go over that, and if we do, it is what it is, but it happens like once every 3 months at most. The bottom here, I got the neutral wire. I got my bare copper. It's for the solar racking. Then I got the regular green THHN. And the reason why I put at the very bottom is because technically, like, whenever I tell somebody, go give me some ground cable, it's at the ground. You can't miss that. You really can't. And if you do, I gotta figure something out about you. I got these safety cones. These are the quick the quick grabs. So if you need to set something up quick, when we open the door up, just grab these 2 real quick and you're good to go. I got more in the very back. I'll get to that part. Is designed for pretty much solar and electrical work needed, to batteries too. You know, it's pretty much a service trailer designed for pretty much anything in the solar industry. You know, most people just have battery techs, or vans, or whatever they drive, because typically it's a van. Tesla's known for carrying vans. This is me pretty much taking that battery tech, the solar crew. Typically, solar crew does tow or carry a trailer, so I got that one. Now, if you need anything else besides that, you know, like any service work, whether it be you know, like just some random electrical work, we could do that too in this trailer. So the reason why I say that is, like, look, this ain't much. I got some Romex. If we need to run and just do some pigtailing or run a heat alarm for that battery, or an outlet, since if the homeowner needs to relocate something, then, you know, we could do that. And, you know, we got some regular wires for that too, you know, just some regular number 12 THHN to run some circuits over, cut them over. So, like, this is designed for a lot of electrical work, solar work, battery work, all in one. I got a whiteboard here, so in order for me to be up to date and keep track of my material for each install, these pack outs actually have an Excel sheet designed to keep track. So I'm not having to be like, dang it, dude, I forgot to grab this. You gotta go back and grab it from a store or a nearby store, which hard to find, by the way. You gotta go to a certain supply house, and, like, if you're out of town, right, you're kind of screwed. So yeah, pretty much I designed it where there's a certain quantity amount. I'm not overloaded, but I'm also not short. So I'm just I'm just right where if I'm missing a product, I'm missing an item, I'm missing something, 90% of the time I have it. And if I don't, unfortunately, that will have to be a cost that will hit us. But a system where each order that comes in is the exact given quantity for the installation. So, you know, this is not part of the installation. This is just pure backup. Backup only for if needed. You know, I don't want no one touching these boxes. They're filled, they're stacked with so much stuff. I'll get to it later, but the purpose is to not use it and just for backup. Here we got this little dolly. It's for the, you know, for the batteries to move them over. Flip side, I gotta swap this one out. It's not that great. A dolly's a dolly though, so it helps a lot on your back. Here comes the design. tile hooks for, you know, flat tile, or I mean S tiles roofs. I have this pipe being held by these hooks. This is the non-adjustable one, so you can't use this one because it's welded, but there's some adjustable ones that have these nuts and bolts. Just flip it and you could have it hanging up like this one right here to hold our pipe. So we have 8 of them, or 4 of them installed, my bad. So 2 here, 2 here. Each ends are holding up my pipe. Usually I carry a 1 3/4 inch. We're doing a lot of projects where we don't require that much thick pipe. And another thing too, I forgot to show you guys. This is pretty sick. Since I designed this trailer for solar mainly, these hooks right here, ground rods, these are ground rods by the way. I just drilled a hole, put up copper at the other end, so it's like a little dongle, or not a little dongle, it's like a hook so it doesn't move out of place. But one end moves, the other doesn't, because it's held in by a copper piece. But the point being is, these are ground rods. These are L feet. These L feet are from also a solar installation, you know. It could be for a tilt system, it could be used for a shingle system. So if I'm ever short on L feet, I'll just grab from my racket and replace it the very next following week, when requested, right? This trailer was designed with some solar products too. So, I mean, this is pretty sick. Having a solar tile hook hold my pipe, having L feet to hold my wire, that's pretty sick. And the ground rods to spool the wire. Let me get into these boxes to show you what I got in them. When you remove these Milwaukee packouts from their shelves, I actually carry stuff behind there for extra space. So let me show you. Carry a ground rod. Then I also carry number 6 ferric copper. Carry number 8 ferric copper. Carrying another set of number 8s. Give me water. Oh, okay. I'm going live. I'm live right now, so come in. I'm live on Instagram. I'm just kidding. I also carry a backup number 10 wire for the ground, for the bonding of, damn, fucking dust. Yeah, pretty much we could put more stuff back here, but that's like, you know, extra stuff already placed to make up this trailer to be compact as possible. I carry a canopy in here at all times. You know, you never know when you need one. I also carry the vacuum up there. I carry some Racketeer caddies right behind here. Then I also carry my charge station. I have 2 of these. I got one at the warehouse that contains 8 chargers designed by me. And I got the one in my trailer just in case I need it. If I'm at a, you know, just in case if I need a charger, I have them. So check me out. This is pretty much the brand I use mainly. It's the Flex Flex Power Tools 24 volt. So I actually designed this. In the middle, there's a piece of Unirack rail, which is the racking we use, by the way. And I installed it, and I used roofing sealant, I'm not sure you can see, to stick onto these chargers. I'm not gonna, like, if I'm gonna use a new one, I might as well just buy a new one at this point, because like I have over just about 14 chargers. I'm willing to destroy them if I, you know, ever get to destroy them, if that makes sense. I mean, I got too many. But the point being is, the way that this concept of this thing was designed was to make sure I don't waste much time charging my tools. I hate having to charge a tool, go to a project, and your tools are dead, right? So these are, I think, what, 260 watt fast charging. So these get done within like literally the meeting's done, you know, 30 minutes to an hour, depending on the battery. There's a power strip right here. And I pretty much snugged it in between the chargers because there's a little gap made from that rail that allows this to be chiseled in there. So it's just pretty much tucked in there. So then I have all the battery cords plugged into that power strip, which would come with the 6 chargers pretty much. I have another one at the ranch, at the warehouse, like I said, it has 8, but they're not the 260 watts, they're the 160 or something, I don't know. So if you're ever doing a CT, you wanna know if the homeowner is using the home loadage, you know, typically a corded blower would work since that outputs a lot of wattage. This here is over 1,000 watts. So whenever I'm in need of a CT reading, I would probably just plug in this charger, hoping some of my batteries are dead. This will go over 1,000 watts. So thankfully I got my custom made charger, CT reading. So this material is not supposed to be used. It's for backups only. So you can see, I got the basic necessities here. Some CTs, roof flashing, some masks, caution tape, bird guard chipped clips, and some other CTs. And that's a lockout tag out right there. Then in here, I got my 1-inch fittings, you know? So it's pretty sick, you know, everything's almost kind of like designed to fit in here for the best amount of spacing. So that's why it's a little OCD in here. 3/4 inch fittings as well. So you can see it's just got a good amount of quantity for backups. I don't need all of this. I don't use all of this, by the way. I'm not supposed to use all of this, but it's a backups. So then I got more fittings. I got the conduit bodies in here and some more in the back. But yeah, that's the conduit fittings. More fittings, but for 1 inch. So as you guys can see, I also stacked these to be very, very similar. So this would be the fittings, right, for 1 inch and 3 3/4. Then the same for the fitting or for the conduit bodies, you know. So like they're separated, but they're in the same the compartment of like from the measurements from 3/4 to 1 inch. And here it's my roofing stuff. So in here I got male and females for the solar system. Then some conduit supports for the roof. And it's pretty sick because you just pick up the tile and hook it under and the weight of the tile holds it up. Some chalk, you know, when marking our layouts. Some S-clips to hold in our solar panels. Some strain reliefs, so when we run in our cables to the J-box, this would hold it tight in place. We rock some wire nuts too, by the way. And we also run some acorns to cap off the dead ends of the solar system. In here, it's more of the roofing system. So you can see, I try to keep a lot of the roof stuff, roof compartment only stacked. Try to. It's not that easy because I don't got much space. But you have the caps, you got the lags, then you got some splices, and underneath the splices you have the mid clamps. We're kind of short on them. Usually I would carry them in here and here since there's not much space available. I carry these strongholds to hold our racking rail. Then I got some of these retention clips to hold in to make the wire management easy. More lags, and micro ground lugs. So this could be used for grounding and the micro inverters or power optimizers, whichever comes first when installing. But yeah. Bottom shelf, what we carry in the back of it is also our space management involved here too. So we got these these dirt blocks. Rarely use them, but whenever we're on a steep, you know, hill or something that's steep, while we're trying to unhitch the trailer, we use these as our blocks to make sure our trailer doesn't go anywhere. And the other one's over there. Some Romex. We carry some of the bird guard here too. So whenever pigeons are an issue for the solar system, we carry the bird guard also in the trailer if needed. But typically we get them per job, but I carry a backup. Sometimes you might be short, you know? Stuff happens, things happen, but you got backup, right? And I also carry the J hooks for the bird guard. Space management, it's pretty much key to make more space for yourself. This right here is my tote. It carries random miscellaneous stuff to make like things easier to put away since I'll deal with it later. But like I don't need these anymore because I got new ones. So I don't need these, right? So I throw them in here. I'll give them away to a coworker.
drywall patch, or yeah, patch. Typically, like I'll put this back at the warehouse sometimes if I don't need it, but some jobs you might need it. Microinverters, I got done replacing 2 micros from the service. I'll just throw them in here. I'll throw them back at the office the following day. And I got these. Actually, this is pretty clutch. It's a story to it, but it's just pretty much a wool spool. But yeah, and I carry some other stuff in here, but this is just like miscellaneous, but like good miscellaneous stuff. Now, here's the box that goes underneath that tote. So I carry 3/8 screws. Sometimes you never know you run into, you might need these because of the requirements. And I got the toggle bolts, got some reducer washers, some self-tappers, some galvanized self-tappers. I got pretty much anything I need for screws as a backup. And this is just backup stuff still, you know. This is not what I use for daily use. This is just backup, all backup material. This is like service materials because it's like just jammed with random stuff. So some screws, a number book right here. Some more screws for rafter upgrades as needed, which we actually stopped doing. Then some Tapcons, an extra slot for these gliders, whatever you call them. Some staples, some more screws. Then we got some shims if needed when doing the drywall stuff. Protector plates for the electrical work. Some T-bolts. Oh, keep a note, I actually had to cut these to size. These that don't fit in here, you actually have to cut them. So it looks pretty sick when they fit perfect, you know? Electrical tape, paintbrush, another paintbrush in the bottom, some more lag just in case. Just like miscellaneous compartments of like screws pretty much. MC4s, you know, you got males and you got your females, and you know, obviously you need to squirt some stuff sometimes, so there's that. Then I got labels in here, some backup labels, and I got me some Ethernet, I forgot what these were called, but the Ethernet stuff. Here, I then have what is brand new to the solar industry is a tile ballast. This sits on the roof, right? There's no penetrations. All it is some sealant around the tiles, and these 2 holes are for the screws to bite onto the tiles. So no need to go do a rafter upgrade anymore. You just use these. It's pretty sick idea, but like, who knows the longevity, honestly. But typically, rafter upgrades, they go on the top of the house, since that's when it switches off to horizontal beams or rafters. So if this is placed at the very top, it's actually being held by that tile hooks at the bottom. So for longevity purposes, we're still secure with these. This is actually what I need to use every day. Typically, I'm running short on some stuff. Tape's missing, smaller screws are missing, and some other wafer head screws are missing. I'm short on actually, but these are my main go-to. So I got toggle bolts in here. Then I got me these washers too for those toggle bolts in here. I got me some red anchors, some Tapcons. Another thing to keep a note, I separated the toggle bolts. I put these pieces in here and those threaded pieces in there to actually fit them in there, because if you put them together, it takes up too much space. So in order to make some more space, you just separate them. Then the only downside about any toolbox really, these little dividers, they go up and down a lot. They're not that sturdy. So unfortunately, you know, they're technically in their own compartment. They tend to go underneath and snake to the next compartment. So I just cut the box to size to fit some of these little pieces in here, so it stays in one place. Same for these washers. Got more washers in here. And also I got my ground self-tapping screws in here, and also got my ground lugs. Those are pretty thick and they don't tend to go underneath, and if they do, it's rare that it happens. And they go in that same compartment because both of them are needed for the same thing. Then yeah, that's the layout of this screw box. This is my 1-inch fittings. You can see it's almost like OCD design-ish. The reason I say that is because I keep my couplings in the center right here. You know, you squeeze them and it'll tell you if it's a good one or a bad one, because sometimes we had to put the pieces together because like they just come off, and we, you know, tend to forget what pieces are in there and what they're not. So whenever the pieces are missing, usually when you squeeze them and it goes all the way through without biting, that will indicate it's a bad coupling, but these are good. My 1-inch fittings, same design, all fittings in one box. So any fittings I need is literally designed to be in one box only. So I don't have any screws, any wire nuts mixed in this box. It's designed to carry all the fittings I need, and typically this is all I need. Speaker, and I carry some more stuff down there in those Milwaukee totes. It's actually like backup material for the roof. You know, J-box, towel hooks, shingle feet, J-hooks for the bird guard, caution tape, butyl tape, roofing sealant paint, all that's all in there. I also carry the pipe benders. So I got two 3/4 ones, one for the roof, one for the downstairs. And I got 1 inch. Typically on the roof, we don't really run 1 inch, but if we do, we'll share it. It's not that bad. I got a 1/2 inch if I need to run some smaller appliances, you know. So all the pipe benders are all back here, really tucked in and hidden. I got some zip ties right here on the actual shelving itself, strap up against it if we need to use zip ties for whatever reason. Is my toolbox, my tower. So I have 4 of these flex stack packs, and I'm pretty much loaded, and I'll get to it towards the end of it, but it fits perfectly right next to the door. So if I need to grab a tool, I just open it, and like it's right there. Like, you know, I open the door, pull something out, go back to the job, you know? And I don't typically walk this out. I'll show you guys my tool setup too, what I carry in my little backpack. But yeah, so this right here is my tower. It's literally my height pretty much, as you can see. This door, we have a shelf. I got my Diamondback tool belt right here, as you can see. And I also got the shovel, and I got me a broom to clean up the job. And the shovel's just, you know, you never know when you need a shovel, bro. You need to bury somebody alive. Yeah, hey bro, right there. I have more of these black little stances. I forgot what the name was, but it's to hold the hard hats for the crew. So whenever we're out on the job site, we got those hard hats ready to go and organized, you know, and we know where to grab them. So that's a good thing. I got another Elfa holding up this ladder right here, this 3-foot ladder. And also got my 2 ladders by this triangle pivot beam. This right here is to carry a big spool that's pretty much heavy. That's why I have 2 of these big pieces in the strut holding it. It's actually to carry this spool I'm about to grab. That hurt. This spool right here will typically go on that racking right there. The reason why it's not, they gave us a big ass spool, like the wood frame itself. So my plan is to pretty much trim it, cut it to size, so it fits back there. Right now it doesn't, but typically it does. But for some reason, it came in a bigger wood barrel than we thought. So yeah, this is on the floor for now, but typically it goes up there. And another thing to note, when you're pulling that spool out, I need to get in shape. But yeah, when you pull that spool out by the door of the trailer, that's about 20 feet. Because this trailer is about 18 feet, I think. And you know, that's 18 to the back of the door. Then an additional, you know, 8 feet because of the ramp. It's a little over 20 feet actually. But the point being is, you know, to make sure you got over 20 feet of wire, and they call for 20 feet, like, hey, we need 20 feet. You walk it out. By the time you hit the bottom ramp, cut it there, you're good to go. No need to measure, pull it out. You know, it's quick, don't get me wrong, but just saying, like, if you want to skip 20 feet easily and then do by hand to help you track the footage, that's what it's also designed to, you know? Not only to make your life easier just pulling it out, but also counting how much you get out of the spool. You can easily deduct 20 feet pretty much. I got my 2 ladders right here. So pretty much, if we're doing a 2-story, we need another one, you know? I want to keep that. I want to keep that walk path clear as much as possible when we're doing an install. It's clean, homeowners like it, And not only that, it makes my life easier. There, it's another tile hook to hold our fish tape. So it's pretty sick. Then some more safety cones right here. And pretty much it's being held by the trash can. So it's like universal. So we actually have another trash can. I have no clue where it's at though. Then I got the hard bottoms for those safety cones right here, right next to it. A table, I got the 2 telescope ladders if needed for, you know, doing quick stuff, whether it be painting pipe, grabbing a fixture, you know, painting some stuff, you know, it's really just something for quick things to do, you know. Right here, I carry the safety equipment. Well, not this bag, but this right here is for material. Since it's empty, we could throw our micros, we could throw our bolts, we could throw our racking stuff on here. So when needed, those make your guys' jobs much more easier if you just put it in one bag. You eliminate the trips, trash, time consumption, so you can be more efficient. Now, these other bags right here, they carry the harnesses, the ropes that we need to make sure we get the job done with safety. Then on top of that, I carry roofing flashing. I got the metal version of a flat, and I also got the metal version of an S-tile. And at the very, very bottom, like right about here, I then carry these hard tiles. You know, we use too many metal flashings in one spot, and to help minimize that, we'll use this hard tile. And not all the times it's the same, but whenever it's the same tile, we actually try to get rid of these first. We actually order a pallet, and we're trying to get rid of it as much as possible. So the only reason I'm carrying this is for that reason. I wouldn't want to carry this. It's extra weight. I don't think it's needed. And it's actually a lot more labor, more work to do. But we also got to make sure to not do the same mistake twice. So let's just get rid of it and switch to the metal flashings, and also try to minimize the broken tiles as well. And if you look right here, so in the beginning of the video, I said, this is not the ladder. I have a smaller one that's a 28 footer. I believe it's 28. The reason why is because the 28 footer ends about here, right at this spot. And the reason why is because these were designed to be held up by my crew's tools. So they could hang up their toolbox, their tool bag, another backpack, and then another backpack. So pretty much it's being held up and eliminating some of the space in the walkway. Because I know we could use a lot more space on the walls, and that's what this trailer was initially designed for, so we could then have more space in the walk path. Next are my tools. Each one of these cubbies contains a battery of a 2.50. I don't like these. They're not stacked lithium, but they're still good, and I got 9 of them. They work perfectly fine, I just prefer the other ones. I then have my rotor hammer. This is one of the 2 I have. Hammer drill. Some knee pads, safety gloves, and sleeves. More batteries. Actually, these right here are literally all stacked lithium besides 2, but it's a 5.0, and those are actually, you know, a little bit more bulkier, and I like them. And I also carry some 12s, by the way, if you didn't notice, by those Milwaukee ones. Typically have 10. I don't know what the other 2 are at, or whatever this is. But yeah, these batteries are the breadwinners because they get the job done quicker and more efficient, and they are stacked lithium pretty much. Then you got this drawer. You got pretty much my short detector. Then I got the mega meter to read some resistance on some wiring that it's part of the installation, you know. Carry a boroscopes to see if, you know, in tight spaces, even trying to search serial numbers for microinverters. If you're troubleshooting a solar system and you're trying to find the sticker sheet without lifting the panels, you could use this. Or I have another thing, but this is an alternative. It's pretty convenient. You just plug it into your phone right here, download the app, and you're good to go. Then I got my ratchet tool, a Dremel, some 3/8 sockets with hex bits on them if needed for D-rates, you know. And I got some more sockets, you know, like those for my vehicle. Then here I got miscellaneous stuff. I mean, square, torque wrench, angle finder, a hammer that I highly recommend.
I recommend this hammer for solar because it's made out of metal, and you can hear it and you can feel it way better than any regular hammer because it's a demolition hammer and it's all metal. This insulation here that's black, it's really minimal, and not only that, you got a pry bar built into it. Not the best, but if you were to grind it down, it actually works just as good as any pry bar. Then you got some Nolax, I think it is, for the aluminum wiring. And you got your Ethernet splicers, or head makers. And you go in here, I got some more miscellaneous but bits. So if you're doing any concrete work with the rotor hammer, this is the tool, this is the boy. And I got my socket set down here, as you can see. All the carbide blades, the carbide set. Then I got me my thing for demolition of tile or whatever's needed really. Then some other miscellaneous stuff in here. Then I got some of my tools in here. So I got grinder, hacksaw, oscillator, what else? I got me my 1/2-inch torque gun for the vehicle itself in here. And at the very bottom, I then have an M1 gun. I highly recommend this brand right here. I think it was like New Hero or something, but this brand is pretty dope. Got me my impact. Got me my skill saw. I got me my other rotor hammer. And I got me a little flashlight down there. Then I got me my sawzall in there. So I got more tools in here. I got my 2-foot level, and I got my 4-foot level on the side of my toolbox, being held by these level holders. It's pretty sick. 2 storages. So I got more gloves. Got a blower to clean some of the job site. My knee pads. You know, a little weird tool. Sometimes you might need to throw at somebody with, they get you mad, but this will change their mind. I got me a phone. Why, I don't know, but it's from my old company. These are also magnets right here to hold more stuff if needed. Damn, I can't even take it out, I'm weak. But yeah, guys, that's my trailer for my work and my daily commute. Oh, and real quick, look at this right here. This is my tool bag. There's a lot to go over with this, but this is for another day.